Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is me, msnobuntu, and you are watching my channel named right after my name. If this is your first time on the channel, please make sure to just peruse through all the playlists, and if you like what you see, please make sure to subscribe before you leave after this video, and also make sure to thumbs up to the people that are coming back, and to the people that are new at the channel, make sure to thumbs up, share the video, like the video. That's the thumbs up. Comment down below. This helps me to actually figure out what I should continue to talk about here on the channel and what I should just put to the side. So if you give me some feedback with your likes or with your shares or with your comments, then I'm able to kind of respond better in terms of what kind of content I put here on the channel. Anyway, without any further ado, I just wanted to come on here today and chit chat a little bit right after this. We still are targeting for 1,000+ subscribers, so please continue to subscribe, continue to thumbs up, continue to share and like. I need to know what you like, I need to know what you're interested in. Thank you again so much for watching, and thanks for continuing to come back to the channel. So I'm not the kind of person who will speak in relation, I won't speak in relation to my community. I won't speak of myself as part of my community, because I do understand that there is a lot of kind of intersectionality in different communities, and so I think I'm more inclined to just tell my story and not speak for anyone and not represent anyone except myself, so that even if my opinion, even if my thoughts, even if what I've come here to share about today don't align with the community, with the community of my ethnicity, the community of my race, you know, the community of my gender, whatever, if they don't align, then it's clear that these are views that are expressed by me, sharing from my experience. So today I wanted to talk about colorism, and just the sheer entrenched power and an operation of colorism in how people perceive things. And I'm just going to tell you a story about how colorism happened to me in my life, and how I found it very interesting, and how, you know, I think we as individuals don't think we're color struck, and until we find ourselves responding in certain ways to different people, or making certain assumptions based on literally the color of someone's skin. Now, when I speak of colorism, however, I will say I am speaking of the brown community here. So at least give me that slice. Even though I'm not aligning myself with anyone, I'm speaking of the brown community, okay? Including the entire spectrum thereof. A friend of mine that I used to sing with, she was very light-skinned. She could have, I think, lack of a better expression, she could have passed for what in our country we call colored. And she is someone that I used to get along with very, very, very well. And we used to sing together. We used to work together in that way. And I remember this one time, you know, someone wanted to hear us sing because they were wanting to sign us and manage us and all of that. And so we meet up with this person, right? And we're sitting in the car, and, you know, we play back the CD to him, and he's like, wow, this is really impressive, this is really nice. And it's like, okay, but okay, this is you on record, you know, this is recorded music. I want to hear what you sound like live. And on the CD, of course, there were, I think, maybe some instrumentals of the songs. So we just chose a song, and we just started vibing and singing to one of the songs. And we got to this part where, you know, we would sing in unison, and we would go in our different voices, where she would sing the lower voice, whether it's you know, tenor, alto, and I would always sing soprano. I was the soprano in the group, and she was the tenor, alto, bass. I was the one with the high voice in the group. And so we start singing for him, and and we sing, and then we get to the part in the song where we're going to our different voices and we're not singing in unison anymore. And so I take my part and I sing the high part and she sings the low part, and his eyes just nearly popped out of his head, like, what the heck just happened? What the heck is going on here? What is this? And it was clear that to both of us, to all of us in the car, that, and this was a brown guy, by the way, it was clear that to all of us that he had assumed that the high-pitched voice in the group was the light-skinned girl, and he had assumed that the lower voice was the chestnut girl. The chestnut girl. And you know, I mean, we laughed it off, we laughed about it, we weren't going to get political about anything at that point in time, and I don't think we were thinking on those terms at that particular point in time. But I was just thinking about that this morning, and I was just thinking about colorism, and that came to my mind. And I thought, oh, that was a moment of colorism, where somebody made an assumption based on the color of our skins, where we fit in our music, and what voices we have. And it might sound ridiculous to somebody else, but these assumptions are made every day just based on little nuances, like the color of your skin. And you think no one is judging you based on the color of your skin? It's absolutely not true. I was, you know, just thinking about it now, I'm pretty shocked, and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm blown away that someone would actually made that association and just not wait to see who's singing what, and then figure that, oh, okay, this one sings this and this one sings this. In the time that I was in a group with her, there were a lot of questions I would always receive behind her back, hush hush, about you know, how I felt about being in a group with her, or that she was doing, you know, she was also in other work in the entertainment industry. I don't want to really out her, and you know, I would be asked sort of in a hush-hush way, how do you feel about her doing this other work in the entertainment industry? And it was interesting because I never felt a sense of insecurity or like threatened that she was doing this and something else in entertainment. For me, I was clear what I was doing, so I was secure in, this is what I had studied, this is what I'm doing, and this is my goal, and this is, you know, my path. And I would always be asked these questions behind her back, and ultimately the essence of the question would be, how do you feel being the dark-skinned girl singing with this light-skinned girl? And most people are looking at her probably more than they're looking at you, reacting at her more than they're reacting at you. But for me, that didn't affect me, because I understood what my value was, I understood what my role was, and it was to sing with her and write with her and do business with her, and for us to establish what we were doing. So it's quite interesting that all of those questions came from, you know, people who are brown, our community, people we would say is our community. And I was just thinking, it is not always that colorism is all up in your face and very stark in its appearance and in its operation, but it's very it's like this crawling kind of undercurrent, where if you're not watching yourself, and you're not watching your perceptions and how you receive people and how you disseminate images of people, then you might find yourself really just you know, making all kinds of assumptions about people just based on how they look. Do I go through it? I don't know. I don't think so. I would say I don't think so for for the most part. I don't think so. But you know, you never know just how something will rear its head up and just operate through you, and you don't think that that's something that you are having an issue with, or you are having a problem unlearning, that you've learned just from years and years and years of being conditioned to associate certain kind of images with certain kinds of qualities, more favorable qualities. You know, lighter skinned people would be associated with more favorable qualities than darker skinned, chestnut, caramel skinned people further down or on the other side, on the, you know, more browner side of the spectrum. I just wanted to talk about that. And there are things that are operating with us that we have inherited, and just like colorism, and there's still so much learning and unlearning. I think you need to learn about something in order to then dismantle it and unlearn it for yourself, being fully informed about how it is built in order to be able to dismantle it. And so there's just so much to unlearn. There is just so much to notice and be aware of in how we make judgments and how we interpret our world and what constitutes our world within itself around us. And let us be aware, as it is commonly said, what you don't acknowledge you cannot change. I think it's very important to even have the conversations about acknowledging our prejudices, acknowledging our problematic type of things that work through us, that we've learned, that we've been taught, whether it's in our family dynamics, our societal dynamic, our community dynamic, or just whatever dynamic we're coming from. I think it's very important to even have the conversation of problematizing what is problematic about ourselves, and openly having that before we get to the solution of, okay, now we're having a conversation about colorism, we're having a conversation about feminism and the intersectionality there, etc., etc. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be posting consistently as I usually do, so please stay tuned and keep coming back to the channel. I will see you again next time. Stay blessed and be blessed.